The one that I'm worried most about here is this designation as a non-NATO ally. And by example, there's other countries that have been non-NATO allies before, major non-NATO allies like Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. Qatar is the most recent one. And you see, with Qatar, they knew exactly what they wanted out of that relationship with the US. But now you see the problem with what the US does. They have those countries there to keep an eye on the rest of the Middle East because,
You're a sympathizer.
One of the reasons is, like White House for
As
us.
a sympathizer.
Yes, me.
Now, DC, it's unfortunate that let me not say it's unfortunate. We did not attend, or let me speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for anyone else. I did not attend by choice, and I think I told people this is a kind of event that we would have loved to attend because it's in our city. But I personally, did not attend because of for a number of reasons.
You're a sympathizer.
But one of the reasons is, like White House for
As
us.
a sympathizer.
Yes, me.
Now, White House, for those of us who, in full support of the Palestinian cause, that's a headquarters of a command center of a genocide that's currently happening.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna be, and there's a lot of work that has been done to boycott, the White House, to boycott the president. So I'm not gonna be that one small guy. I'm a very small guy when it comes to the grander scheme of the protests that are happening across America, for the Palestinian people. So I don't want to be that small guy who, how do I put it, who decided to, betray the cause because of, 2 silver coins and a bag of millet. I was just like, you know what? It's unfortunate I'm going to attend. I was hoping, that there was going to be enough people.
Selfie on the White House lawn.
I was hoping there was going to be enough people who are going to attend and who are going to be willing to come to the show and talk to us about the different events that happened in DC. But like Mika said, and Mika said this, but at that point I did not give him the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. A lot of people went there for good vibes and selfies because a lot of people you talk to who are there, they cannot tell you one or two things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying everyone, but quite a good number of people went there for good vibes. And it is unfortunate, and that's why as Kenyans we get treated the way we get treated by our politicians. Because my expectation was for, and it's really weird that most people that went there don't want to talk about it. Yes, they went there, they took the pictures and everything, but it's kind of like that was it. That was it. We were given what was called a fact sheet by the White House. And this is what we got. And we did get a couple of things. One of them was in digital health and education initiatives, where the US committed over 31 million to support Kenya's digital health infrastructure, including 4 million for solar power, for solar power solutions for health facilities, and enhancing community and facility information systems. That's from the White House. Education.
That is a very big win, by the way, Ali.
Well,
the health technology, if they manage to integrate that healthcare system, that is going to improve health by a lot. The mortality rate is going to drop.
It's a big win. It's a big win.
With a really huge number.
Yeah, it's a big win. I agree with you. But we also have to find out what Americans are really looking for. What's not been said in public. Because of those things they'll say in public, and there are those things that they will not say in public. And of course, we already have our
Amanda Bay. That is what they've always wanted all these years.
So, of course, they want a military base in Kenya. We already have our police who are on their way to Haiti. And there's a couple of other defense issues that we already know that they want. Now, another aspect is the education collaborations were also established, including a new $3.3 million scholarship program for 60 Kenyan students to study in the U.S., and the creation of the EdTech Africa initiative in partnership with several U.S. universities and companies like Microsoft and MasterCard. Of course, you can go to the White House website to check those details. Then they talked about peace and security cooperation. They say the U.S. designated Kenya as a major non-NATO ally, reflecting its importance in regional security, particularly in counterterrorism efforts against groups like Al-Shabaab. And then, of course, we know recently it was announced in the news that Kenya will be part of adjudicating the conflict that's currently ongoing with the Houthi rebels in Yemen. So they might be brought to Kenya for trial. We'll get into those details later. And then they say that new funding, approximately $916 million, was announced for various security initiatives, including enhancing Kenya's defense capabilities, improving police training, and supporting international missions. So all this, let's say this is being done on behalf of the U.S.
Okay.
This is not necessarily for Kenya. This is being done on behalf of the U.S. So on infrastructure development, there was a major deal that was signed for the construction of the $3.6 billion. It's called Usahihi Expressway. I don't even know what kind of name is that. 3.6 billion Usahihi Expressway from Mombasa to Nairobi, which will rival the Chinese-built standard gauge railway in terms of traffic. This right here, remember, this goes back to a promise that President Trump made to Uhuru. I think this was back in, was it 2018? It was never kept. Bechtel was supposed to do that construction.
Yes.
Yeah, that promise just disappeared. So we are seeing it resurface again. So just because it's America that said it, doesn't mean it will be done.
Yes.
But let's wait and see.
We shall wait and see.
So here they talk about anti-corruption and judicial reforms. The U.S. committed $1.55 million towards anti-corruption programs in Kenya, including enhancing budget transparency and supporting civil society's role in governance. So these are the same things that when we were going to China, these are the same things that we're saying, that these are the things that we are fighting. You know, like we're going to deal with our own stuff. We don't want another country to come and tell us your condition for getting aid is by you doing this and that.
Yeah.
So again, we've gone back to that. And then there was also technological and economic cooperation, where they say Kenya will benefit from investments in semiconductor manufacturing under the U.S. Chips and Science Act, aiming to integrate Kenya into the global semiconductor supply chain. So these agreements are part of a
cobalt.
So these agreements.
Did you discover cobalt in Kenya?
Well, I don't know.
Did we?
But they're saying these agreements are part of a broader strategy to enhance bilateral relations, foster economic development, and strengthen cooperation between the two nations. The one that I'm worried most about here is this designation as a non-NATO ally. And by example, there's other countries that have been non-NATO allies before, major non-NATO allies like Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar. Qatar is the most recent one. And you see, with Qatar, they knew exactly what they wanted out of that relationship with the U.S. But now you see the problem with what the U.S. does. They have those countries there to keep an eye on the rest of the Middle East, because America doesn't want these countries to have joint defense pacts. You know, like the way Europe has NATO. They want to keep dividing, because Africa, with the African Union and all this Pan-African talk, there was talk also of having a unified defense strategy. So this right here, Kenya, unfortunately, is becoming the first country to break that. The unified military strategy, the unified economic strategy, there's a lot of unification where we were to go out and negotiate things together, rather than be divided into small countries, and then you're told you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, then you end up with breadcrumbs, and what you're giving up, America wants Manda Bay. They want to create a military base in Kenya. There's so much you're giving up for whatever you're getting. But anyway, hopefully these things are gonna benefit they're gonna benefit Kenyans.